I get this question many often that I'm a mechanical engineer or a BSc or bcom and I want to switch to data science. Can I do it? I'm going to answer this question by covering all these topics in detail today. If you're looking for a short answer, the answer is yes. You can 100% switch to data science field. The reason I'm telling you is that because I have seen many examples in my life. I know one person who started learning programming at the age of 40 and now he is a very successful programmer. Then there is this girl who did PhD in chemistry. She started learning data science and now she is a machine learning engineer in one of the top firms in the US. I have another friend who was a mechanical engineer and then he started learning programming and data science. Now he is a data scientist again in a big firm in USA. So it is definitely possible. You have to follow disciplined approach and do a lot of hard work for it. I go to a library near my home to teach Python programming as a volunteering activity, and there is this 8-year-old kid who comes, and last week I was there and he taught me some Jupyter notebook tricks. So if 8-year-old person can do it, if the 40-year-old person can do it, why can't you? But before you decide to embark on this journey, I would ask you, why do you want to switch your field first of all? Don't do it just because the whole world is crazy behind data science. I agree that there are a lot of opportunities, but let's say if you are a civil engineer and you know how to construct beautiful buildings and you have some experience, don't switch it just because the whole world is crazy behind it. Okay, if whatever job you are doing, if you can do it better, then continue doing that and you will be very successful. If you are a civil or mechanical engineer and if you are passionate about data, you can still apply data science. You can learn Python programming little bit and apply data science in automating your day-to-day task, in building models, etc. But for that reason you don't need to quit your job. So continue whatever you are good at, and on the side you can apply data analysis skill. Now if you are bored of your field, if you're not enjoying your field that much, then yes, you can switch to data science. In data science there are a couple of roles that you can target. The two main roles are data analyst and data scientist. There are other roles such as data engineer, BI analyst. So all of these roles you can target. The major difference between data analyst and data scientist is that data scientist has all the skills that data analyst has, plus that person has some advanced statistics, programming, machine learning skills. The first aspect you need to consider while making this transition is, how do you want to acquire data analyst or data scientist skills? Is it by going to a college or by self-study? If you decide to go for a college, go for the one which is reputed and you have some personal reference. Let's say a friend of you have gone to that college, pursued a specific course, and that person says, yeah, this course is good. Because nowadays there are many colleges and institutions who claim that they teach data science, but they are just trying to take money from you and they don't do a good job at it. Okay, the instructors don't give a quality education. So in that case, whatever money you spend in your college or course fees will go in waste and you will end up wasting a lot of your time. The second option is self-study, either by using free online videos or by doing paid courses on different e-learning platforms. I'm a big believer in self-learning. Whatever skills I have learned, most of them I have learned on my own. I have two separate videos on how you can acquire data scientist and data analyst skills using free online resources. So if you are interested in doing a self-study for data analyst or data scientist, then please go watch those videos. I have provided links of those videos in the video description. Here in this chart, I have shown you step-by-step transition to data science field. The first step is acquiring the skills either by self-study or by going to a college. You need to learn programming, SQL, visualization tools, SAS, machine learning and all of that. Once you acquire those skills to some extent, you can start working on the projects, the data science projects. You can start participating in Kaggle competitions. In fact, I like an approach of learning through the project. So you can pick up a project, and while working on that project you can acquire necessary skills. You have to finish 6 to 10 such projects and upload them to your GitHub account and link those projects into your resume. Then start applying those skills into your current job. If you are a student, start making projects which uses data science as part of your semester study. If you are working somewhere, try to find an area where you can apply programming or data science. Many people say that I do a job where there is no applicability of data science, but that's not true. Programming and data science can be applied into any job nowadays. If you are doing any repetitive work at your job, then that is something that you can easily automate using Python. Now, you don't go to your manager. Let's say you are a civil engineer, you are working in a construction company. You don't go to your boss and say, hey boss, I want to work on programming and data science. Of course, he's gonna say no. What you need to do is you need to identify a problem or a repetitive process in your organization and try to automate that using programming during your extra time, and then build some prototype, then showcase that prototype to your management. Once they see the benefit of it, then they will be willing to give you more time to work on those projects. So you see, the approach should be, you should be willing to do a lot of hard work in your extra time, and then on your job you identify problems which can be solved using programming and data science, and they can become a very good experience for you because now you have solved a real life problem using programming and data science, and this is something you can definitely mention in your resume. Once you have finished these side projects or on-job projects, mention them clearly in your resume and start applying for the job. Now, of course, you're not going to get a job in Amazon or Google or Flipkart on day one. You might have to go for tier 2 or tier 3 company, and even with a less pay. But you have to look for what kind of experience you are getting, and once you build some experience, once you gain more skills, then you can start applying in tier 1 companies. One person asked me, is it worth a hype or is it a bubble which is going to burst? I have been working in data analytics field for last 10 years and I have seen this field evolve. I can say this for so much confidence that this field of data science is not a false hype. It has a great bright future. In 1990s, when IT field started emerging, there was a trend of people going for civil engineering and chemical engineering, and when then this IT thing started, people were saying that, oh, this is a hype, it's a bubble which is going to burst. But look what happened to IT field from 1990 to 2020. It has exponentially grown and it is still growing. For data science, you can assume that you are in 1990s of software engineering today. So data science is just going to grow exponentially, and there is a reason behind it. Nowadays, every business is making a data-driven decision. Previously, they would make decision based on some intuitions and things like that, but now they have to rely on data. When Walmart opens a new store, they do a complete study of demographics, the income levels, the competition, and they use a lot of data analysis tools to choose a new location carefully. And with internet and 5G, the amount of data is growing day by day into every business. You buy stuff from Amazon or Flipkart, you are continuously telling these e-commerce platforms what are your buying patterns. I have been Amazon customer for last 7 years, and now they exactly know what I am buying, what are my interests, and they give me recommendations which are often very effective. I keep on buying things based on their recommendation because they are so good. They can sell this data to any business, and for that business it will be so much valuable. People say data is oil. I say data is actually gold, because that data can be used by any business to make a decision which can make their business more profitable, it can grow the revenues, etc. So drawing insights from data is like churning a buttermilk and getting butter out of that buttermilk. And the people who do this job are basically data analyst or data scientist. And for that reason, there will always be a demand for data analyst and data scientist even in the future. And the good thing about this field is that it is applicable in any domain, healthcare, retail. You take any domain, this field has an applicability. The social media platform is also causing the explosion in data. You have your Facebook account, you are posting your birthdays, the food that you like, the places you travel. So you are constantly giving this information to Facebook, which then Facebook can use to do target marketing. You might be seeing those advertisements, right? They will be based on your interest, and they can even sell your data to some companies who can then do target marketing on you. The information that you're giving to this social media platform is generating big volumes of data, and again, this data has a lot of value, and to draw the insights from this data you need data analyst and data scientist. And this is the reason Harvard Business Review said that data scientist is the sexiest job of 21st century. Now I'm going to go through different fields and give you suggestions based on what field you are in. Let's say you are at level 0, which means you don't know any programming, statistic, math, etc. Let's say you are a bachelor in arts or bachelor in commerce, and now you want to switch to data science. For you, I would suggest you choose data analyst role compared to data scientist, because the expectation in data scientist role are very high and the learning path will be very steep and it will be a long journey for you. Data analyst expectations are lower compared to data scientist. There you have to still learn programming, SQL, visualization tools, many things. I have mentioned all those things in the video I have for data analyst, but at least it is not as difficult as data scientist. But remember, even for the data analyst, the learning journey might be long. You have to do a lot of hard work, because in programming what happens is once you start learning programming, you will have a lot of frustration moments. I don't want to discourage you, okay, but what happened is one of my friend, he was trying to learn Python, and then he wanted to read a file from network location, and then he had extra slash in his file path. He was debugging this issue for like 5 hours and he couldn't figure out. When I went to his home, I looked at his code, and within 5 seconds I said, okay, this is the problem, and it solved the problem. And he was happy, at the same time frustrated, because he spent 5 hours and the solution was removing one stupid slash. Okay, so when you start your programming journey, you will have this kind of frustrating moment often, and this happens with anyone. It's not just with you. When I started learning programming, this was happening with me too. But then you have to persist through those frustrating moments and be patient and just respect the fact that it is part of the process. You have to go through that painful journey to reach your ultimate destination. But once you gain experience, the things will start becoming easier. Now let's talk about level 1, careers such as mechanical engineering or civil engineering, where you have some mathematics background. You must have studied engineering, math, calculus during your college days, and even at job you might be using programming a little bit. Or let's say you are in microbiology or biotech field. All of these fields I consider level 1 because you have some background. For example, in microbiology and biotech, there is a lot of applicability of data science, such as in microbiology you can do microbe classification or disease prediction based on some environmental factor. If you are in biotech, you can do genome study. Like there was a human genome project which finished, which generated humongous data, and now you can do a lot of analysis on that database. There is a pharmaceutical research as well, where you can apply data science. So in all these fields, there is an applicability of data science. So if you are already working in your job, try to find a problem where you can apply programming and data science, and try to learn these things while at job. Because if you are trying to learn this thing on the side. Of course you can do it, but then with job and family it becomes very difficult to find time, to learn things in your own time. So the best thing is to learn while you are at job, try to solve a real problem, and you have to be very creative. I mentioned before, if you go to your boss and say give me data science project, he's gonna say no. So you have to spend extra time, do some hard work, and build some small prototype and show it to your managers, and maybe they will be convinced that okay, I should give this person this bigger project. Then comes level 2, software QA analyst. Now I consider this person a level 2 because first of all you are already in software field, so you understand how software development life cycle works. You have some knowledge on cloud, maybe some data structure. You might be using programming a little bit for running your automated test jobs. You might be using Python. If you're not using Python and if you're doing something manually every single day, then just remember Python is a great language which can automate boring stuff. There is a book called Automate Boring Stuff with Python, and the title is very appropriate. So if you are, let's say, dealing with some Excel file every day and then doing some transformation and generating a new file, those kind of things can be easily programmed in Python. So try to learn a programming language, try to automate your day-to-day QA job, and that will give you a good exposure. So that way you learn programming, and then meanwhile on the side use the resources which I suggested for the role of data analyst and data scientist to learn those extra skills as well. Now for both level 1 and level 2, you can pick either data analyst or data scientist as your end goal, but always remember being data scientist will require lots and lots of hard work, and it is pretty competitive compared to data analyst. Then comes level 3, which is Bachelor in Statistics, Mathematics and Physics. Now I have a very special respect for people who are from statistics, math and physics background. The reason is some of the smart programmers I have worked with, they have either physics, stat or math background. I don't know why. Maybe when they're studying, their brains are designed to think in terms of mathematics, in terms of equation, logic, analytics, and those raw qualities make them a very good programmer. So if you are from this field, you can definitely target a data scientist position, because having statistic and mathematics knowledge especially is going to help you a lot. Then comes level 4, which is a software engineer. For this role, I think you should target either data engineer or data scientist role. Going for data analyst doesn't make sense, because as a software engineer you have more better opportunities and more pay opportunities. If you are already interested in databases and if you are working, let's say, as a DBA, etc., then data engineer is a great career choice. Otherwise, if you want to become data scientist, then the biggest benefit you have is you have already won half the battle, which is software engineering. You know programming, you know software development lifecycle, data structures, algorithms, cloud, computer architecture, etc. Now you need to learn statistics, math, machine learning, deep learning, etc. For math, I recommend 3B 1B channel, a great channel. It's just awesome. I don't have words for it. So you can learn linear algebra, calculus from that channel. And then for learning statistics, etc., again, I have the video on how you can acquire data science skills. So follow those online resources and try to learn things yourself. So I hope that clarifies some of the confusion that you might have in terms of changing your career to data science. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Also, if you have any career specific question, please post in a comment below. I try to answer as many comments as possible. And again, just to repeat, I have 2 great videos on how you can acquire data scientist skills and data analyst skills. And in those videos, I have provided the links of all the online resources, and majority of these resources are like free courses or some YouTube playlist which I personally like, and those online resources will help you in self-studying the data scientist and data analyst skills. All right, thank you very much for watching.